reserve some energy to do the do in the other room for again. You have to be more focused on what God wants you to be, because once your focus is on money, is on fame, is on success, is on this and that, the cars, the house, the private jets and all of that, the devil begins to set traps for you and begins to possess people around you. Today we are going to be doing a movie review of Prophet Suddenly. Lessons, messages, red flags, everything that I learned from this movie. I'm going to recommend this movie to every young person. When I say young person, today we are not just going to be centered on the 20-something years old. We're going to be talking to every young person from 18 to 45. Why? Because this movie just covers this age. I just feel like it covers this age group, and every young person needs to see this movie. So if you have not seen this movie, I would advise that you pause this review and go and watch the movie, or you can watch this review first and then go. Maybe the review will make you watch it if you've not seen the movie. Shout out to the Winlows. The message in this video, in this movie, is sound. It is deep, it is timely, it is important, and it came at the right time. And an amazing shout out to Prophet Pastor Arome, who featured in this movie. He didn't really act. I feel like he was just his normal self in this movie. I've been under his ministration before, and this man is such a sound man of God. His words are usually, they usually carry weight. Let me put it like that. So shout out to Prophet Arome. His feature in that movie made it amazing. I was looking forward to where he will feature. It was towards the end. So he did amazing. He did so well. Shout out to the Winlows again, for bringing this message to us, for bringing this movie to us. So we're just going to jump into this review right away. So I have my book here. In case you see me looking down, I wrote down lots of points. So I'm just going to quickly rush through the movie and make sure that I cover all these points. So this movie is all about purpose, destiny, the quick money syndrome, which I feel a lot of young people are crazy about these days. Nobody is willing to, a lot of people are not willing to sow and then actually wait. A lot of people are not ready to sow and then water the ground. They just want to sow today and reap tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. I'm making them to go through the shortcuts of making money. Young people worship money. They feel like money is the beginning and end of life. We're going to be seeing that in this movie review. So the movie started with this young man who wanted to do ministry at all costs. He wanted to be a pastor at all costs. And I feel like that is my first red flag. I feel like that is the first red flag. When the burden for purpose or the burden for what you want to be becomes forceful, becomes a do or die affair, you have to watch it, because it is important that you allow God, who has placed that burden in your heart, do the work for you. See, you cannot do your purpose, or you cannot do purpose alone. God actually put it in your mind, or maybe you actually want to do this thing and it now becomes a do or die affair. I feel like that's a very big red flag. So if God has laid in your heart to do something, I feel like you should calm down, listen, allow God direct you, allow God help you. If God has put something in your heart, He will help you. It shouldn't be forceful. It shouldn't be a do or die affair. It shouldn't be forceful, okay? And I feel like sometimes when these things begins to take time and God is taking you through corners, sometimes you before you become that thing, God wants to take you through some journeys in life so that you will appreciate where you are and where you're coming from. So it shouldn't be forceful. So that is where that's where the movie started from. So this young man was like, I want to do ministry by all costs and all that. And the mother was like, okay, I'm going to send you to this woman whose son is in the rehab. So she took this young man to the rehab, or this mad people's home and showed him this man of God. His name is Michael. And she was like, this is my son, I'm going to tell you what happened. And the guy was like, what really happened? Why because he was reading his Bible in that place, and you know, he's crazy, but he was reading his Bible, and the guy was like, what's going on? What happened? So the woman started telling him the story of this young madman. They started with the guy being I think a radio presenter. He works in a radio station, and he used to be a pastor. Actually, he used to be a pastor. So he now works in a radio station, and you know, he presents and all of that. So they showed a scene of where he was going to work on Sunday morning, and the wife was complaining to him that, oh, you don't spend time with us, you know, we don't go to church on Sundays, we do not pray anymore, we don't do things together again as a couple. And that was another pointer. Now his church folded up. He used to have a church. He was actually a man of God, like a true man of God, and then his church folded up, and then he folded up. I think he didn't have the funds to maintain the place and all of that, and he folded up. So he had to, you know, go back into the street and start hustling again, you know, to put some money together to start up his ministry. He actually wants to be a pastor. Another pointer, another red flag again. You want to be something and then you are not preparing to be, right? This man was a man of God before, and then because the church folded up and he had to start working, he stopped going to church. He doesn't study the word anymore, he doesn't pray, he doesn't do anything that pertains to ministry anymore. All he was just chasing is money to start his ministry again. If you want to become a tailor, for example, you have to go to a fashion school, right? You have to be among tailors. You have to, apart from even learning the skill, you need to know other things. You have to think like a tailor, you need to act like a tailor, you need to behave like one, right? And you have to spend some time with those people. The same thing, you want to do ministry and you are not spending time with God. You don't go to church, you don't have a mentor, you don't have anybody you submit to. All you're about is money. We noticed that in the progression of the movie, the guy is always admiring big men of God. You know, he's always admiring their suits, their aircrafts, the massive church, you know, the people in the church, the people that attend the church, and he's like, oh my God, I love the suits. Oh my God, look at the crowd. I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be a big man of God. You know, he was so focused on the worldly and the mundane things. Another thing I was able to grab from those scenes was that your purpose might not land you in the limelight. Your purpose might not bring you those flashy things. Your purpose might not, you know, what actually is the fulfillment it brings to you. You are fulfilled, you are happy, you have peace that yes, I am doing what God wants me to do. There are some people that are tailors, and that's what God wants them to do. They are not poor, they are just normal people, right? So your purpose might not bring, and there are people that they don't have all the fame, but they are fulfilling purpose, they have money, they are rich. So I feel like the man was just focusing on the wrong things. Let me put that, he was so focused on the wrong things. He wanted the life, he wanted the fame, he wanted the money, he wanted the cars, he wanted the big houses, he wanted the people, he wanted the miracles, he wanted to be the talk of the town, without thinking about people who have been in the ministry for a long time. Now, another point is, do not compare your 5 years of labor to another man's 50 years of labor. I see a lot of young people comparing themselves with big celebrities that have been in the industry for years. You're just starting Nollywood today and you are complaining, you are comparing yourself with someone that has been in the industry for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, who have been putting in the work. Young people have to understand that there is a difference, there's a big timeline between sowing and harvesting. You do not sow today and harvest tomorrow. Between sowing and harvesting, there is time. And between that time, there is the waiting period. You have to wait. You have to be patient. When a farmer plants a seed today, he has to wait. He will water every day or occasionally. He will weed sometimes the seeds will die. He will have to replant again. So young people have to understand that there is the sowing period and there's the harvesting period. Do not compare your 5 years of labor to another person's 50 years of labor. So if you are starting your journey today, don't compare yourself with another person who have made it in the industry. If you're on YouTube today, YouTube takes time, right? And I've learned with YouTube that you have to be patient, you have to be consistent, and you have to focus on your focus. It is okay to admire big YouTubers, it's okay to want to be like them, but when things are not, when you are having, your views are just coming up small. I remember when Diana Ekweme started, she used to talk about it, that if you don't know Diana Ekweme, she's a YouTuber. I think she's based in Saudi Arabia now with her family. She creates content relating, I think, to family, motherhood, lifestyle and all that. So when she started YouTube, she used to be in the university in the UK, and then the views were not coming. In fact, she was so confused about her niche, but now she's making, and it took her years. She didn't start YouTube today. So if your views are not coming up right now, you have to wait. You have to keep doing the work. You have to ask questions. Okay, what works for me today? What's going to work on my channel? You have to work on your analytics. Focus on your focus. Don't be distracted. Don't compare yourself with people who have made it. You have to remember that those people put in years of labor. Tears has gone down. Pain has gone down. Disappointment. So you have to be prepared to wait. You have to be prepared to be discouraged. You have to be prepared to be disappointed. So you do not just don't that is what makes that's what's making young people make the wrong decisions these days. You see young people who are getting into trouble. You see young people who are so focused on, I want to make it now. And once the devil realizes that is your problem, he begins to set traps. Now this leads to me to my next point. The devil knows that, okay, this young person, he wants money, he wants fame, and he wants it now. The devil will do it for you. He will start setting traps for you. Now prophet suddenly began to compare himself with those men of God, was admiring their lifestyle. He wanted it now. If he got any opportunity, he was saying these things, and the devil was hearing, right? The devil even planted his friend CK, who was not even a child of God. Now, apart from all of this, he was also having some other small issues in the house. You know, he'll get back home, he will get back to his wife, and then, you know, he wants to do with his wife, and then, you know, the wife is tired, I'm tired. You know, it became an issue. Like, it became recurrent. Like, it was happening almost every night. The man wants to do this thing. And see, the devil is very strategic. So he will go back to work the next day and he will complain to his friend that, see, my wife is always tired. And you know that, a man just point out his frustration to his friend. And friend is like, help your wife. She's always tired. Yes, help her. Now, I was watching a video on I think a post on I was watching a post on Instagram, and it was talking to housewives, like married women. I just wanted to chip this in. It will help, because the devil is very strategic. I'm not saying it is an excuse to want to cheat or something, but you do not leave a loophole for the devil to penetrate. You don't leave any. You have to guard your space and guard and protect your family. Okay, don't give the devil any chance. So the woman was just making a funny post of, that women should always don't be too engrossed with house chores, that you use all your energy. You use up all your energy in washing plates, taking care of the children. Outsource if you can. Okay, leave some chores and reserve some energy to do in the other room for your husband. Your husband goes out in the morning, comes back in the night, and he wants to do, and then you are tired. So this is just like, it's just something I'm just chipping in, okay? Because it's not an excuse for the men to cheat, but I feel like you shouldn't give room. What she actually said is very important, and it makes sense. He was pointing out his frustration on his friend, and the friend is always telling him, help your wife. There's no harm in helping her. And this thing, you just chop and clean mouth. It's not like you're having any relationship. Just hook up with a girl. In fact, the guy now paid a girl and gave him a card for him to meet up with a girl. Call her, she'll satisfy you for the night, and then you go home and you are okay, right? He told the card and he was like, he's not going to cheat on his family, his wife and all of that. So he was driving home the next day. The devil does not rest. He does not rest. He plots and he plans. That's what he does. So he was going home the other night, and then he saw this young beautiful woman. And he was like, what's this girl doing alone on the road? He wanted to just help her out of he wanted to help her. And then he picked her up, and then he was telling her that, where are you going to and all of that. He tried to talk to her. That night he didn't pick her up. He got home and he told his wife that, let us do, and she's like, she's tired, she did this and that. The next day he picked up this lady, and he was like, after he picked her up, he was like, he didn't want to do this, he didn't want to do that, and he was like, no, I cannot cheat on my wife, I'm married. The lady was like, are you crazy? You picked me up and then you're not saying no. Are you okay? So he took her back and dropped her. After some fighting in his spirit, he went back and he picked up this lady, went to a hotel. They booked the hotel. Even at the reception, the receptionist was like, when he was telling the lady that he wanted to book a room for him and his partner, the person he came with, the lady was like, I can't see anybody. Gang 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 gang. So the lady was like, okay. So the lady apologized that, because the guy was like, you're embarrassing. What do you mean you cannot see somebody close to me? Like, you can't see the woman. So the lady apologized. I'm sorry. You get? She apologized and they booked the room. They went to the room. This guy slept with a winch. He slept with a mommy water, aka he slept with a marine spirit. So he slept with this lady. The next morning, he didn't go home that night. I think he went home early hours of the next morning. So he told the lady that, just punch in your account number, let me do a transfer and let's leave. The usual. And the lady was like, no, you now live in me, I live in you, and all of those things. And the guy was like, what kind of joke is this? Just give me your account number, let me go. See, don't play with sin. Like, don't romance sin. Don't kiss it and say, oh, I did not go into it fully. I just went close. Don't try it. You are just tempting yourself. You're just setting up yourself, okay? Don't romance sin. Once you give room for the devil, see, you are just opening yourself up. And not just you are opening your family, because this woman did not just come into his life, she came into his family. So he was like, it seems you are crazy. So he left him in the, he left her in the hotel room and he went home. He started having strange dreams. The lady came to him and was like, she's going to offer him everything he has always wanted. To tell you that the devil, he can hear you. So when he sees that, oh, this person's pursuit is mammon, this person's pursuit is this, and I will give it to you, but the devil will want something in return. And what he will want from you in return, my dear, you cannot pay. You cannot pay. He usually would want your soul, and it does not just end with you. It will have to destroy it. It also affects your family, right? Sex is usually not just a physical act. It's more spiritual than the physical. When the Bible said, I feel like when the Bible said the two shall become one, it's not in the taking of the vow, it's in the consummation. So when two people have sex, it is more spiritual. You become one in spirit. You exchange. Most of the time when we hear these things, we think it's a joke, or it's a joke. We think it's more serious than that. Now this man slept with a spirit, okay, and he did not know. So it is more spiritual than physical, and you do not know who you are doing these things with. That's why they always encourage young people to, abstinence, keep yourself, do not do this, do not do that, and all of those stuff. When the devil wants to destroy you, he's going to set up a trap, right? He will entice you. He will offer you everything in this world. He will tell you, he will give you this, he will give you, and truly he will give it to you. He will give it to you, but he will not tell you what he will take from you. He will entice you. So because So because he knew that this is what Michael, the prophet, suddenly wanted, he sent that, that lady came and offered him everything. So she was a spirit, and the guy was, this is nice. So he went to work the next day, telling his friend that the lady, he was really scared, and this is not even a joke, so he was telling the friend that, the lady I slept with is a witch and all of that. And the guy was like, I just one experience with hookup babe, you're already speaking in different languages and all that. So the friend was making fun of him, and then the boss came, and then the boss was was complaining about and accusing him and his friend CK for stealing from him and all of that. Before we knew it, the spirit had started talking to prophet Michael. He was not Prophet suddenly at this point, was talking to Michael. So Michael began to have, strange altercations, strange dreams. He started seeing the future. He now sees, things about people. Before we knew it, CK introduced him and told him that this can fetch him a lot of money. That money you've always wanted. See, the devil will set traps. And be like, CK is not even a born again Christian. It was so easy, right? CK told him you can make lots of money. All you need to do is just to tell people that, tell people their dreams, tell people, their future, tell them their past, just tell them what they will be, miracles and all of that. And then you start making money. And this guy, boom, before you knew it, he became big. He became big. Like, he became a big prophet. And then when he became big, his wife started having strange dreams, right? Another point is, it is very important to have a discerning partner. The wife started complaining that ever since her husband became a big prophet, or man of God, she started having strange dreams. She sees her husband sleeping with other women in the dream. She sees her husband, she sees a strange woman who has a kind of label on her head. Sometimes she sees, whenever the man is prophesying in church, she sees that strange woman coming and all of that. She feels something is wrong, but she couldn't place her hand on it. So it's important that, in as much as you are a strong person, it is very good that you have a strong partner who is also a born again, because sometimes when you are down, this person can help you. This woman was noticing this thing, but because she wasn't strong, or she wasn't also a born again, so to say, she knew this thing, but she just couldn't wrap her head around it. She couldn't pray, she couldn't fast, she didn't know what was happening. And then before we knew it again, people started asking questions that, okay, who is your mentor? You became very big all of a sudden. Who is your, because every seed, every tree has a root, right? Everybody that has become great today has somebody or some people or somewhere you started from. Where did you start from? Was a question they asked Professor Dindi, and he said he doesn't want to talk about it because he has no roots. Everything just started suddenly. It's important that you have a root, you have a mentor, you have an authority you submit to, not because of what people will ask you. Or it just helps you being accountable. You have somebody you submit to, you have someone you listen to, you have someone you can run to for help. You have a solid foundation, and everybody has that person. Everybody that has been, that is great today. I feel like everybody that is great today has that one person who mentored them, who has shaped them, who has helped them in every journey they have encountered. But suddenly, it didn't end well for him. People started asking him questions. He had to look for a man of God who he will present to the world as his mentor. So he went to CK, suggested Prophet Arome that he should go and meet him, that the man is a powerful man of God, that he should meet him and give him money, offer him money, and he will be your mentor, a decorative or ceremonial mentor. And so he went to meet him, not knowing that he had gone to meet with God. He had gone to meet Jesus. So he got there, and Prophet Arome, he sensed the spirit, and he felt that this man was fake. He offered him money and all of that, and the man was offered him to mentor him. Actually, that if you want me to be your mentor, really, then you have to submit to authority. I want to mentor you. Arome said a few things, and I'm just going to read it out. When you are desperate about life and ministry, anxiety opens the door to controlling spirits, entities looking for bodies to possess, so that they can be manipulated to do their bidding upon the earth. Prophet suddenly was so desperate about life, about money, about the fame, about the success, and devil knew that was what he wanted. So when, even as a young person, you want to be this, you want to be that, your focus shouldn't be on the worldly things. Your focus should be actually fulfilling what God wants you to be. Yes, it is okay to love the money, it's okay to love the fame, but you have to be more focused on what God wants you to be, because once your focus is on money, is on fame, is on success, is on this and that, the cars, the house, the private jets and all of that, the devil begins to set traps for you and begins to possess people around you, just like he possessed CK. And CK was one of the big problems he had in his life. Prophet suddenly felt insulted, and he went to meet Miokuku Sheshe, who was the spirit. Miokuku Sheshe, I didn't even mention her name. And the lady was like, that she would give him more. He wanted more, like he wanted power, he wanted more. And the lady was like, she would give him. The next thing, his son died, he lost his wife. A lot of people in his church died. I did not mention that his wife discovered that he was cheating and sleeping with other ladies. That is also part of it. So one of the conditions that the spirit gave him was that he will be committing immoralities, like he will be sleeping with people. Apart from sleeping with her, he will be sleeping with other people. So the wife discovered that, and the husbands, we talked her into, it was just a small sin, it was when I was weak and all of that, and she forgave him. So, in the bid to have the wealth and all of that, he lost his wife, he lost his son, he lost his ministry, he lost his friend, he became insane, and he landed in the psychiatric hospital. The question that was asked, that is very important, was asked. He said, how do you know you're in a strange path? I'm just going to read it out to you, because I didn't want to miss any point, any part in it. How do you know you're on a strange path? When the center of a ministry of a man is about I, such a minister is standing on two possibilities: either to commit to God or to commit to himself. When you commit to yourself, you are committing to mammon. When mammon takes the center stage of your life, everything becomes for sale. Your blessing, your miracles, everything, the prophecies becomes for sale. It becomes transactional. You're trading everything. Your ministry becomes a business center. It opens the door to lust. We not mentioned that earlier, which leads to immorality, which is the source of corruption. When a man finds himself in this position, he has lost it. However, God is still in the business of raising prophets for the next generation, men that are willing to be patient, waiting for Jesus to exalt and promote them. They have no commitment to self or human ambition. They have been trained to wait on God's lifting and promotion. See, when you dine with the devil, you are doing his bidding. You are bound by covenant. Your words become empty and your hands filthy. See, the devil gives nothing for free. He takes more than he ever gives. The gifts the devil gives are never for free. He takes more than he gives. Sometimes he takes your family. That's why a lot of people, even their generations, pay for it. You hear people that they go to church and they want to break the yoke of whatever. They will tell them that it is something your great-grandfather has done. So sometimes when you are doing things, you are not just doing it to yourself. Now, Prophet suddenly lost his wife, he lost his son, he lost innocent people in the church. So when the devil gives you a gift, he doesn't just give, he gives you and he takes more than he has given you. So choose this day the God that you will serve. Will you serve Jesus or will you serve Mammon? You cannot sit in between. You can't want Nathaniel Bassey and a touch of Burna Boy. You have to choose one. Who do you want to serve these days? Jesus or Satan? Pick one. You cannot be sitting on the fence. I hope this review or this video brings light and enlightens you. You know, it helps you and it lights your path. I hope that we will not make the mistakes of Prophet Suddenly. I hope that we learn from these things. These teachings or this message is very important. So please share this video. If you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe, like this video, and share to all your friends. Let's know what you think. What are the lessons you learned that I didn't mention? We talked about a lot of things. So let us know. Till I come your way next week, next time. God bless you. Bye.